Hello, and welcome to the Stem Cell Healing Institute podcast. In case you have any questions regarding this program, please write us at info@stemcellhealinginstitute.com. Thank you and enjoy the podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Stem Cell Healing Institute podcast. We are here with Dr. Sara Figueredo. She is the Research and General Director of the Institute. How are you, Doctor?
Hello, Louise. I am wonderful. Thank you so much. How are you today?
Welcome back. I'm doing great. So we are actually recording this podcast, and I know there's a lot of people that suffer hair loss, and you can actually help with stem cell treatments. Is that correct, Doctor?
That's right. Stem cells help to regenerate damaged follicles of the scalp that stimulate hair growth naturally. And from so many different causes. So basically, the bottom line is that stem cells help regenerate the follicles. And if the follicles are regenerated, they can grow hair. It can stimulate hair to grow. And so that's what we do with stem cells. And we combine them in a nice cocktail, a nice nutritive cocktail with growth factors and other proprietary ingredients that help with the growth of hair and maintenance of hair, which is really important.
And I'm wondering, does this treatment work for everybody, like for someone that has been bald for 20 years?
You know what? That's a very good question, Luis, because when it's sort of male pattern balding, there are a lot of hormonal issues there. A lot of it is hereditary. However, we have reversed male pattern balding to some degree. I mean, you won't end up with a person with a full lush head of hair, but definitely some hair growth does occur with male pattern balding, and even to the point to where it's enough hair growth. Then there are other, alopecia with women.
I was just going to ask you that one.
There are different reasons for hair. So there's so many different reasons. Again, there's hormonal issues with males as well as with females. And then there is COVID. Post-COVID, we have found so many women and men that have lost hair, so much hair.
Oh, yeah. My sister was one of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and the reason for that is, blood circulation or, again, hormones can be affected. So all of these factors, as well as, even damage to the follicles for whatever reason, it could be a medication that was being taken or chemotherapy or some kind of damage to the hair follicles that can all result in hair loss. And not to mention nutritional deficiencies. So things like iron and certain minerals are so important for hair growth and hair maintenance. So those can be a factor as well.
And I need to ask you, does these stem cells are applied? You did mention that are applied locally. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and again, it's really important that we also point out that the stem cells are applied into the blood, also IV, intravenously, so that they get to the scalp and everywhere else. And then we also do local applications of the stem cells right at the follicles.
Does that hurt, Doctor? Does it hurt?
Yes, it can hurt without anesthetic. So we use a local anesthetic and perhaps even sedation so that the patient is most comfortable. So it doesn't hurt with the sedation, and absolutely we need a local anesthetic. So there's no pain whatsoever.
So I need to ask you, in case of minoxidil that is used for hair loss, and you need to use minoxidil actually kind of like the rest of your life if you want to keep your hair.
Yes. That's right.
Is that like similar with the stem cells that you get? You got to get a lot of treatments or not?
No, No, it's actually the opposite. So with stem cells, it's permanent, but you do have to have some key lifestyle changes. Like it's important that if there are hormonal issues, those have to be addressed. If there is an inflammatory reaction or some kind of disease in the body, that needs to be addressed. Nutritional deficiencies need to be addressed. So whatever the underlying root cause is, the stem cells help address those, plus the maintenance and the regeneration of the hair follicles and the hair. So that's a really good thing about stem cells, is that it can get to the root cause of the problem as well as help with the secondary effects of the root cause of the problem, which can be the hair loss in this case. So we do a series of blood work before they come to deduce what actually is going on. Is there an iron deficiency? Is there a hormone deficiency? Is there some kind of underlying disease, autoimmune condition, inflammatory condition? Is it post-COVID sequela? So we do a lot of blood work and take a nice thorough history, and we get down to the root cause of the problem. So when the patient comes, we can address everything. We address everything we address the patient as a whole, not just the symptoms or not just the problem that we're having. We need to address the patient as a whole to really get the best possible results and to make the patient healthy, not just give them hair. We want to get them healthy,
Yeah, I suppose once you're healthy, your hair grows better. You know what?
That's right.
With my hyperthyroid problem, or with my hypo in this case, the doctor told me if I keep taking my pills like on time every day, I might get my hair grow back again. Actually, it is that way because it's hormonal. The whole thing about the hair growth can be hormonal as well, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah. As I mentioned, absolutely. Yes. So it can be any kind of hormone. It could be the testosterone. It could be estrogen. It could be the thyroid, the way that they all work together. There was something else that I failed to mention that is really important, is also digestion and absorption and assimilation of nutrients, because, we could be getting enough nutrients in our diet, but is our body actually using it, right? So if we are not digesting our food correctly, if we don't have the proper enzymes or the hydrochloric acid in our stomach, or even the proper microbiome, and then even the absorption, like if the intestinal lining isn't absorbing the nutrients well and assimilating them well, we can have these kinds of problems also with hair loss.
I did give you the minoxidil example, but I was wondering if there are any side effects with the stem cells on this treatment.
Thankfully, yes, no, thankfully there are no side effects whatsoever. The worst thing that can happen with stem cell treatment is you can go through the whole process, the whole treatment, and see no results. But we at the Stem Cell Healing Institute have never seen that happen, where we see no results whatsoever. So we're doing something right.
For sure, and that's why we do have some testimonials that you can watch with different patients with different issues. Those are in our YouTube channel. So, doctor, is there anything else you would like to add to this podcast?
No, I think we've covered a lot of ground. I think a lot of listeners are pretty familiar with our comprehensive treatment, and we mention it in every podcast. So we'll leave it to the next podcast to reiterate.
All right, so there you have it, folks. In case you suffer of hair loss, stem cells can actually help. And if you have any questions, please send us an email. By the end of this podcast, you will find all the information how to contact Dr. Figueredo. You have a wonderful day, doctor.
Thank you so much, Luis. You too. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
All right, you take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
If you want to contact us at the Stem Cell Healing Institute or Dr. Sarah Figueredo, you may do it by calling us. In North America, you may dial +1 209 690 7836. Also, if you want to write us by WhatsApp, you may add +502 4220 7297. Please send us an email at info@stemcellhealinginstitute.com. And don't forget to visit our website, stemcellhealinginstitute.com. Also, if you like to recommend our treatments, you may find us on Facebook at Stem Cell Healing Institute. Please follow us on Instagram at StemCellHI. If you want to recommend this podcast, please refer to anchor.fm/stemcellhealing. Also, you may find us with that very same name on Spotify. If you want to watch our videos, please go to Dr. Sarah Figueredo. That is on YouTube. Thank you.